Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome for the first time. Today I'm going to share with you how I like to make my chicken fajitas. These fajitas are super simple to make and they're a quick dinner option for weeknights when you're just in a rush and you have less time. Make sure to check out the full list of ingredients down below, and if you'd like to learn how to make these, then keep on watching. So for this recipe, I'm using thinly sliced chicken breast, but you can go ahead and pick up whole chicken breasts if you'd like and then just thinly slice them yourself. I used about a pound of chicken, and what we're going to do is just slice them up into these thin strips, and you're going to want to make sure that they're all about the same size so that everything cooks evenly in our pan. And once they're all cut up like this, we're just going to throw them into a bowl and we're going to season them with all of my favorite seasonings. And I don't really measure how much I put of each seasoning. I just put a good layer on top of my chicken of each of the seasonings. Just put as much as your heart tells you. That's what I usually do, and you can't really go wrong with any of it. So I added at this point onion powder and garlic powder and paprika and some oregano, and then I'm going to add dried parsley, and I'm going to add some cayenne, which is optional. You don't have to add that much, it just adds a little bit of a kick. And then I'm going to ground some fresh black pepper over top of this, and then put some salt. Make sure you put enough salt so that it brings out the flavors of the rest of the seasonings. And then I'm going to add a few teaspoons of oil. And once I've done that, I'm going to grab some tongs and I'm just going to toss all of this together so that each piece of chicken is coated in all of our wonderful seasoning mix. And then I'm just going to let it sit in this bowl while I prep my veggies. You don't need to marinate this for long in advance. Just as long as it takes to prep your veggies is enough time for it to sit. So put that to the side, and then we're going to get started with our onion. We're going to cut up our onion into very thin slices, and we're going to do that with all of our veggies, with our peppers and our jalapeños. And you're going to see here in a second that I used one red bell pepper, one yellow one, and one orange one, but you can use whichever color peppers that you have on hand. If you have green ones, you can use those as well. I just prefer the colorful ones because to me they're a little bit more sweeter, and I don't really like the flavor of the green bell pepper, but this is all up to you. You can use as many bell peppers that you want and in any color that you would like. And then in a minute here, you're going to see me also chop up some jalapeños. I only did one because I only had one, but normally I add about 2 or 3 just so you know there's an even amount of colors throughout my dish. But yeah, the jalapeños are optional if you don't really like spicy foods, but in all reality the jalapeno is not that spicy. Just make sure you take out the seeds and it'll just taste like any other bell pepper. If you want things to be a little bit more spicy, which sometimes I do, I add serrano peppers instead of the jalapenos, because those do have more of a kick to them. Now that we have all of our veggies evenly cut up into these thin slices, we're going to heat up some oil over medium heat. Once it is hot, we're going to just add all of our veggies to the pan, and we're going to add them at the same time. There's no need to do first onion and then peppers. We can add them all at the same time, and we're just going to give them a little toss, and we're going to let these get nice and soft and fragrant, and that's going to be about 5 to 7 minutes. Make sure to continually stir them around in your pan so that they don't stay too long in one spot and burn. You want to just give them a little toss every once in a while throughout those 5 minutes. When our peppers look like this, I'm going to kind of create like a little well in the center of our pan and push the peppers off to the side. Then I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in there, and I'm gonna throw the chicken into that little well. And this is not how you have to cook your chicken. I don't know why, I just like doing it this way. I just leave them in the center for about a minute, and then after a minute I give them a little toss and I leave them for another minute. So total I just cook them first for 2 minutes on their own in the little well, just so they kind of get a little bit color to them, a little bit of a sear maybe. And after those 2 minutes, then I will toss everything together and mix the peppers and the chicken. You can see I like to do a lot of tossing, and it's just because I like to make sure that the chicken is evenly distributed throughout the peppers. And once I've done that, I'm just going to let the peppers and the chicken cook together for about 5 to 7 minutes, and make sure you continually toss them so, like I said, they don't burn. And remember, your heat is still at medium while you're cooking your chicken and your peppers. After those 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to do something that is totally not traditional for chicken fajitas, but it's something I love to do because I like my fajitas to be caldosas, and I love for that super flavorful broth to be soaked up by the rice that I serve it with. But if you don't want them like that, then at this point you can just cook your chicken fajitas until your chicken is fully cooked through, and then maybe squeeze some orange over top or some lime for a little bit of citrus. So what I'm doing here is pouring 1 cup of chicken broth into my fajitas and 1 teaspoon of the chicken bouillon, and that is just so that my broth can have more flavor, because I do use the low sodium chicken stock. So I like to season it with some chicken bouillon to enhance that chicken flavor in my broth. And then I'm just going to give this a quick toss, and then I'm going to let the broth come to a boil. And once it does, I'm going to turn my heat down to low, and I'm going to cover it, and then I'm going to simmer this for 7 more minutes, or until the chicken is fully cooked through. Now there's nothing better to pair with these chicken fajitas than some good rice. So I'm gonna leave some links down below of my Mexican rice and my white rice if you want to check those out. Once your chicken is fully cooked through, you are all done, and you're left with these super simple and quick to make chicken fajitas that are packed with so much flavor. Let me know down below in the comments if you try these. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and till next time.